Так, DLC Птачека, собственно.
Greetings. What do you need?
Is there anything I can help you with, Sir Hans?
Ah, Henry, the very man I wanted. There is something you can do for me. You see? I'm in love.
Ah, there's a new wench at the bathhouse, is there?
Watch it, Henry. This is the love of my life we're talking about, not some wench. The face of an angel, breasts like silk pillows to dream on, and good strong hips. A regular Helen of Troy.
Troy? Isn't that near Prague? I don't know anyone from there.
Never mind, blockhead. What I'm saying is, she's a fine filly, and you can help me win her.
Sounds like fun. I'm all ears.
You, Hal, shall be my messenger of love. You shall bear her a letter and a gift from a secret admirer.
Why me? It's not like you to be bashful, Sir Hans. You can just go and tell her,
Certainly not. Carolina is different to the others. She was educated in a convent and needs to be handled with kid gloves. Romanced. I must court her secretly. It's the latest fashion in France.
And who is this Carolina?
The fairest maid that ever walked the earth. Carolina. The butcher's daughter. You must have noticed a divine creature in the marketplace. Unless you're more interested in barnyard animals.
No, I don't know who you mean.
Really? Maybe I'm right about your barnyard interests. Well, all the more wenches for me. Your task is simple. All you have to do is get hold of a necklace fine enough to grace her lovely neck. I did have one that I inherited
Проиграл
from
в
my
карты.
great-grandmother. Unfortunately, not anymore.
What happened to it?
I lost it playing dice at the inn. But you'll get it back for me. You're a smart lad. I'm sure you'll figure out a way. And I'll reward you handsomely.
Oh, all right then. Is there something else I should know about this necklace?
I lost it at dice in the Ledechko tavern when I was there to see... Well, that's not important.
So, some dice player from Ledechko won your grandmother's valuable necklace. Haven't you learned anything from losing to Zdena, the bathhouse wench?
My great-grandmother's. And as it happens, I have learned a trick or two. But that fellow has the luck of the devil. No doubt he'll still be sitting there, swindling other folk out of their hard-earned groschen.
Oh, what's the use? All right, all right. I'll go to Ledechko, find this diabolical dice player and see what I can do. Though I'll probably lose my shirt to him.
Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Take care.
Ай, красота какая. Собственно, будем, наверное, выполнять только эти квесты. Но прикол в том, что я этот DLC до конца не проходил. Я его постоянно заваливал. Сколько я не играл в Kingdom Come, я всегда проигрывал. В общем, кошмар сплошной, да и только. Зато по основному сюжету мы уже довольно близко подобрались. Сытый 74. О, вот такая сытость мне больше нравится. В общем, подобрались уже довольно близко к по нашему основному квесту. Надо в Сазаву ехать. А там, возможно, и в тюрьме сидеть. Я уже представляю, приезжаю в Сазаву по заданию вот DLC, это Птачека. Вот. Меня сажают в тюрьму, и я заваливаю этот квест к херам просто. Блин. Но это будет трэш. Это будет трэш, если так будет. Мне по-любому надо будет, скорее всего, в Сазаву по квесту. Вот я почему-то прям уверен. Они любят из города в город посылать. Там съезди в Ужице, съезди там в Прибыславицу нахрен. Съезди там еще в какой-нибудь конец карты. А это вот тебе ночное задание. Ну, в общем, умеют развлекаться.
Yeah.
God's blessings. What can I do for you?
Are you the one who played dice with Laura Capon?
Played and won, lad. Fine noble he may be, but he can no more throw dice than I can read Latin.
I can't disagree with you there. But look here, have you still got that piece of jewellery you want from him?
No, I don't. Some noble rode through here and we had a game or two. Only them dice kept falling his way. I was lucky to keep my boots. He's got the necklace now.
Can you tell me anything else about him?
Fine gent he was, well dressed, on horseback. Had quite a lot to say. Seems he saw a bit of the world. And he had some interesting looking dice.
You said they fell well for him?
Aye, and no wonder. Fine dice they was, made special. All shiny and whatnot.
Did you know where this fellow was heading?
He was waiting for someone here, but when they didn't show up by midday, he rode on. He mentioned something about camping by the bridge over the Sasau River. That one before the charcoal burners camp. You might still catch him there with a bit of luck.
There aren't many fords along the river on the way to Sasau. That's all I need to know.
I'll be with you.
О, да. А скачите-ка вы в очко. Насколько помню, этот квест намного глубже, чем кажется. Сейчас мы еще поскачем в эти Сазавские леса. В Сазавские леса, там бы найдем подпольное казино нахрен. Начнем играть там. Кошмар. Кошмар, сплошной кошмар. Куда-то я не туда повернул.
Yeah. Yeah.
И опять не туда повернул.
Yeah. Yeah.
Так, меня якобы здесь ждет тюрьма. Мне, наверное, неплохо бы посетить каких-нибудь мыльщиц, может быть. Потому что красноречием я здесь сейчас не отличаюсь. А мои блестящие доспехи хотя бы будут вызывать уважение и все такое.
God preserve you.
I'm interested in...
Uh-huh.
proper bath. And my clothes need washing.
I'm sure you'll be God bless.
Попробуем подстричься.
I'd like...
And what is it?
На заднем фоне стражник такой мимо проходит.
I'd like that. Thank you.
I'm sure you'll be... Goodbye.
I'd like to make you...
And what is it you...
I'd like that.
I'm sure you... God bless.
Так, небольшой баф получили. Сейчас бы постараться не натыкаться на стражников. Щетка прям в каменюгу, в текстурину. Стражника вроде как не видно. Это очень хорошо.
God be with you, good.
Take care now.
Немного мусора продадим.
Good day to you.
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
Well, there's Mikesh. He's honest enough, and a fair-hand at everyday things. And then there's Master Otter. He used to have talent, but now he's too old, and too proud to admit it.
Do you work any copper here, Master Blacksmith?
Why'd you ask?
I'd want to commission you to make something.
Then you'd best go elsewhere. I never use copper.
Aha. So back to that copper, Master Blacksmith.
What? I thought I told you I don't work with copper.
Aha.
Вперед!
God be with you.
Врет, скотина. Уголь. М.
Yeah.
Не работает он с медью, ага.
Yeah.
I'm at your service, sir.
What can you tell me about the Sasau blacksmiths?
There's too many of us, I'll tell you that for free. This is only a small town. There's Zach, who has a forge in the craftsman's yard and mostly works on the construction of the church. And then, apart from me, there's Master Armourer Otter of Ramstein.
Tell me more about Zach.
Don't have much time for him myself. He knows his craft, no question. But he seems to think his son, Vitus, will be a master armourer in Prague one day.
My father was a blacksmith, and I expect he thought much the same about me. That's how fathers are, isn't it?
Of course, any man should be proud of his boy. But Zach makes pride a sin. That's why he's at loggerheads with Master Otter.
What are Zach and Master Otter arguing about?
Zach had his boy Vitus trained as an armourer in Kuttenberg, and he wanted to buy out Otter's place for him. Except that Otter's a proud man. How would it have looked? A master armourer giving way to a young whippersnapper who's barely let go of his mother's skirts? And they've been arguing ever since. Well, Zach mostly. He badmouths Otter every chance he gets. He claims that he's only fit for mending pots and that his son will see him off.
Can you tell me something about Master Otter?
Well now, there's a master to look up to. He's worked for the lords of Kunstadt and for the richest townsfolk of Prague.
If you don't mind my asking, what brings him here?
The same as draws all reasonable people. He's enjoying the peace and quiet. Or rather, he used to enjoy some peace. That dispute with Zach must have put a few more wrinkles on his brow.
That will be all. Do you ever work with copper here?
No, and even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Zach from the monastery craftsman's yard has bought out all the copper. Farewell.
Вот он, скупил всю медь. Скотина такая.
Yeah. Yeah.
God be with you. About that. God be with you.
Так, ну ладно, это оружейник. То есть нам нужен броник. Вот-то нам нужен.
Yeah.
Вот-то стражники. Который сейчас меня попытается задержать, наверное.
Come right up. Asparagus, they'll cut you in half. And cucumbers.
I hope I can be of some...
What can you tell me about the blacksmiths here in Sasau?
Depends which ones you mean. In the town, there's Mikesh. He's a decent man and an honest craftsman. And in the yard by the monastery, there's Zach. But there's not many good words I can say about him.
What about the monastery blacksmith, Zach?
Well, him and me don't exactly see eye to eye. He wanted to buy my business, but I turned him down. Ever since then, he hasn't had a good word to say about me.
Tell me something about Mikesh.
Like I said, he's an honest craftsman, which isn't something you can say about every blacksmith in town.
That will be all. Do you make anything out of copper, Master?
I do a bit of Damascene decor sometimes. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for someone who could do me some copper sheets.
Well, that's pretty rough and ready work. I wouldn't waste my time with it. But go and ask Zach from the craftsman's yard by the monastery. He's bought up all... Good luck to you.
Ну вот еще раз говорят, что он скупил всю медь.
Surrender!
You've committed a crime,
All right,
and I'm arresting
you
you.
win.
Now I've got you, you shit. You'll be dead. It's jail for you.
All right, that's enough. Maybe you didn't realize, but I'm in the service of the Lord of Ratai. So you better keep that in mind.
I didn't know that. My apologies. Go ahead.
Все. Тюремный срок на нуле. Изи. Ну там, конечно, у меня большие бафы были. Прям реально большие. 16 плюс 4. При том, что у стражника было там, по-моему, 14, то ли 15. Это жирно. Это очень даже жирно. Ну, сейчас пойду на него наеду. Че он мне врет? Где он там медь прячет? В этом сарае он по-любому медь прячет, но не сознается.
So back to that copper.
What?
That's not what I heard.
What?
I was told in town that you bought all the other blacksmith's copper.
I'm being made a fool of yet again, it seems. Anything else? I still have work to...
May the Lord watch over you.
Ну, блин, даже не знаю. Это его дом, по идее, правильно?
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here.
Печки. Наверное, надо дождаться вечера и проследить за ним. Может быть, у него ключик забрать. Не знаю. Вот этот сарай, по-моему, открыть надо. Если не ошибаюсь. Так, они все еще здесь. Может, через его этого спросить?
Your father says you don't work any.
We don't.
I've heard differently around town. They say your father's bought up all the copper to be had.
Are you calling me a liar? Or my father? You're asking for it, boy.
Нифига он боевой. 7-6-14.
Just be sure you know what you're letting yourself in for.
Was that a threat? Do you think I'm an idiot?
You don't get it, do you? I don't particularly want to fight with you. I don't have the time or the need to prove anything. So I'll just take my knife and stick it between your wrists. And then I'll keep twisting until you tell me the truth.
So show me what you're made of.
Провал.
You're gonna cry.
Shit!
So what do you have to tell me?
You're right. We do make copper sheets here at night.
Your father has some serious explaining to do.
Jesus, please don't hurt him.
We'll see about that.
May the Lord watch over you.
Ну вот, через сына раскололи отца. Куда ты пошел, блин? Я тебя не отпускал.
So back to that copper, Master.
What? I thought I told...
Your son put it quite differently.
What's that? What are you blabbering on about?
For a blacksmith, son, he's not all that tough, is he? So you let them intimidate you? Thought you were made of sterner stuff.
I thought so too. But I'm not an idiot, and my pride isn't worth my life.
If you don't cooperate, you'll be getting a lot worse than that from me.
There's no need for threats. We can both benefit here. If I tell you everything I know, you can help me with a certain small matter. One that'll cover up for my loss of earnings.
Do you know what the penalty is for counterfeiting?
I never give it much thought.
Evidently, because the penalty for counterfeiting is burning at the stake. And I can personally guarantee that when you're standing on that pyre, you'll find a loss of earnings is the least of your concerns.
No, of course you're right. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. It's just that I'm afraid of being left destitute.
So, out with it. What's been going on?
One evening I got a visit from this scruffy beggar calling himself Rapota. He had a yellow cape on and kept whistling to himself. There was a knight with him too, but he didn't give his name. They told me what I had to do, how much I'd get for it, and I had to keep my mouth shut.
And where can I find this Rapota? Or the knight?
I don't know exactly. But I've always left the wagon with the goods behind the monastery, on the hill there, next to a small chapel under a big tree.
Anything else?
No. I swear that's all I know.
Well, that'll do me for now.
Young man, about that matter I need help with. I'll gladly pay you.
First, tell me what's going on.
I recently tried to buy Master Armourer Otto Rabstim's business for my son Vitas, but that old fool wouldn't listen to reason. He said he couldn't understand his legacy being taken over by a clod like my Vitas. Despite the insult, I doubled my offer, but Master Otto still wouldn't budge.
And what is it you need from me?
I thought I'd show Otto that Vitas isn't such a dolt as he thinks, but for that I need someone experienced in combat.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
What's your plan?
Otto's busy making a very pretty suit of armor for the bailiff. So I was thinking, if we could show that pretty armor of his is absolutely useless, he'd be disgraced.
And how am I supposed to see to that?
Well, I'd reckon we'd arrange a duel of champions with bludgeons. You'll put on Vitus's armor, and Otto will send his champion in that tin shit of his. You invite the bailiff to watch, and Otto will be made a laughingstock in front of everyone.
Then what do I get out of it?
What we already agreed. I'll give up dealing in copper, and I'll tell you everything I know about what's being
Ты
done.
уже рассказал, дебил.
But what if I lose?
Nonsense. How could you? Vitus's armor is light as an eggshell and hard as a rock.
Agreed. I'll get to work on it.
Wonderful. Go to Otto first and talk him into it. Then go to the bailiff so he can announce it and get spectators. The more people see it, the better. We'll bring the armor to you at the combat arena. See you later.
Битва Кузнецов. Поединок на дубинах. Ну вы, конечно, даете. Ладно, скатаемся кота сначала. Блин, там уже, наверное, закрыто сейчас. Хоть бы было открыто, хоть бы было открыто.
Scarlet suit for the winter. Onion gathering. Asparagus for taste and prunes for what ails you.
What the?
I hope I can be...
Master Armourer, I have a message for you from blacksmith Zach.
If it's another one of his so-called generous offers, you can go straight back and tell him I'm not selling, and that's that.
No, this is another matter. Vitus wants to challenge you to a duel.
What? Me fight with that brat? Zach must have lost his mind entirely.
That's not how it will be. The real duel will be between your pieces of handiwork.
How's that?
It will be a duel with bludgeons. No bloodshed. At most, a few bruises and some dents in the armor. Zach chose me to wear Vitus armor.
And so I'm to choose a champion of my own? That sounds reasonable.
Good. So let's agree on the time and place.
Hold your horses, young fella. I've got a counter offer for you. Now, I'm sure Zach is paying you well.
I won't deny it.
I could pay you more. And I'd tailor-make a cuirass just for you. What do you say?
You mean if I fight as your champion instead? I'm not sure how Zach would take it.
No, no. You fight on Zach's side and lose.
That's not very honourable.
And Zach's constant slander and mudslinging are the height of honour, are they?
Zach might be acting the scoundrel, but why lower yourself to his level? You should show you're the better man.
Better than that, upstart. I'm a master of my craft, boy. I've made armour for the lords of Kunstadt. I've no need to prove anything to anyone. So, are you going to help me or not?
All right, I'll do it.
Wonderful. Zach won't know what hit him.
So, choose the time and place.
What, me?
You're the one being challenged, so it's your right.
Well, it's all the same to me. Go and sort it out with the bailiff. He should know about it anyway, so I don't look like a troublemaker.
All right?
Farewell.
Так, а Рихташ у нас где-то рядом. Что-то он в каком-то очке. Получается, сюда и налево. А, вон он. В движении находится.
I hope I can be of help.
I'm here on behalf of blacksmith Zach.
Zach? What does that madman want now? Don't tell me. It's another complaint about the Master Armorer. Well, you can tell Zach if you waste another minute of my time with that pathetic feud of his. I'll have him up for disrespecting the office of the bailiff.
No, it's not a complaint this time. In fact, Zach came up with an idea to settle the dispute once and for all.
Is that so? Well, that's a different kettle of fish. That's just what I was after. You have my full attention, friend. What's his plan?
A duel.
Jesus Christ! Has he lost his wits entirely?
Zach is a madman, I can't deny it. But this would just be a duel with bludgeons. Nothing too dangerous.
Now hold on a moment, young fellow. Zach is a respected tradesman. It doesn't do for folk to go around doubting his sanity. Certainly not his messenger boy.
But apparently some folk are allowed to.
Yes, the esteemed representatives of the township.
Like the bailiff, for example.
I, like me, for example. let's leave that aside and get back to the point.
Zack chose me as his champion. I'll be wearing a suit of armor made by his son, Vitus, and I'll fight Otter's champion. Whoever falls first loses.
That sounds like a fine spectacle for the village green. Naturally, I'll have to be present to ensure nothing untoward happens.
Your presence is certainly expected, Bailiff. We'd like you to referee the whole duel.
Very well. We'll have it on the marketplace in the front of the church. But when?
That's up to you.
We can't do it now. It's nearly nightfall. We wouldn't see well enough to enjoy the show.
All right, Bailiff. I'll come another time.
Farewell.
Черт. Слишком темно.
Yeah.
Ладно, тогда поедем опять на ту сторону речки. Так, конкретнее где-то находится. А, еще надо к Йоханке заскочить. Заскочим к Йоханке. Ну так, чисто по бырику.
Where's Yochanka?
She's locked up at the rat house. Orders of the bishop.
Locked up? For what?
For heretical speeches. Run along now. If you want to chat about it, go and talk to that monk who smells like an apothecary shop. He's in a flap about it too.
Farewell.
Хоба! Тренируемся открывать замочки. К аптекарю, говорит, сходи. Ну-ка, Никодим, что там творится
What
вообще?
happened to Yochanka?
Nothing good, I'm sorry to say. She was locked up by the papal inquisitor Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov. It seems he somehow caught wind of this preaching of hers. He's accused her of spreading heresy and had her placed under arrest.
Right. I'll go and see this Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov.
May God go with you. And thank you, Henry. I'm glad you're standing up for your Yochanka. If you need anything, do come and see me.
Take care.
God be with you.
Так, инквизитор, по-моему, где-то на верхнем этаже, что ли.
Sir, I am
Henry of Skalitz, from the garrison of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla. I've heard a lot about you, my son. I'm pleased to meet you.
Bishop Yaroslav, sir, my lord, to what do I owe your interest in my humble self?
I was told you survived the massacre in Skalitz and warned the Townburg garrison. You tracked down the raiders of a stud farm in Neuhof, wasn't it? To their hideout in the woods. And then you led Sir Radzig and his armed company there and joined bravely in the skirmish, and even killed their notorious leader by your own hand. And I believe you have many other deeds to your name. That's quite remarkable, considering your age, is it not?
I had some unsettled accounts to deal with, and I still do.
Mm-hmm. You're clearly not lacking in determination. A word of caution, though. Fervor can easily lead to recklessness. Nevertheless, I assume you came on account of Yochanka.
Yes.
Then tell me what's on your mind.
And what will happen to Yochanka now?
I must weigh the gravity of her transgressions and investigate these alleged visions of hers. I consider it very improbable that she is indeed being visited by the Blessed Virgin. Nevertheless, I cannot at this time rule it out entirely.
When will you decide, Monsignor?
As soon as I am fully informed of the facts. Although it seems the matter is a little more complicated than I first thought. I will call Yochanka and the witnesses, question them, and then pronounce a verdict.
And will there be anyone there to defend Yochanka?
Do you doubt my judgment?
I would never be so bold, sir. But surely it would be only just that someone should speak for Yochanka about all her good deeds and so forth.
Naturally, I will also question those who would speak in her defense. Since you are interceding, I expect you have someone in mind?
Yes. Actually, me.
As I surmised. But this matter does not directly concern you. Why should I allow you to appear before the court?
Ага. Вот это у меня не работает. А вот это
I serve
работает.
the royal hetman, and his interests are mine. To see justice done in this province, and to quell unrest.
Laudable, no doubt. But bear in mind that Lord Kobola is a secular governor, and this matter is subject to church law, in which he has no jurisdiction. On the other hand, I do acknowledge that you've been quite exemplary in doing your duty, as far as I'm aware. Your concern seems sincere, so I will grant your request. Very well. You will defend Yochanka. You may speak in her defense if you so wish. You may also bring witnesses. I will question any such witnesses, and naturally I shall question Yochanka too.
Thank you, Monsignor. In that case, I'll need to speak to Yochanka first.
That won't be possible. It's forbidden by the Inquisition procedure. Until the entire matter is resolved, Yochanka can speak only to me and no one else. I would like to expedite the matter. The trial will take place in Sasau Church in 3 days' time at the latest. Come and let me know when you're ready to proceed. In the meantime, I will continue my investigation.
Very well, Monsignor. I had better get on with it then, sir. Farewell.
Before you go, you know Yochanka longer than anyone else. You spent a lot of time with her, as I've discovered. Tell me, my son, truthfully, what do you think of this whole affair?
Well, before, in Skalex, Yochanka was sort of, well, just a simple village girl. I never imagined I'd hear her talking the way she does now. She's completely transformed.
A simple village girl. I see. Do continue.
Well, Sir Sebastian took a fancy to Yochanka and made certain advances towards her. And I think she might have got involved with him.
Sebastian von Berg, the custodian? But to my knowledge, the man is married.
But it's all over now. She's finished with him, really.
So, the gossip about her fornication here is truthful. What else can you tell me?
Maybe. She didn't treat everyone equally. She took better care of her former Skalitz neighbours than of the other patients, of course.
It's understandable, yes. Some people are dearer to her than others, but whether by doing so she sinned. Anything else, Henry?
That's about all I can tell you.
Thank you, my son. One more thing before you go. Let me remind you that it's your Christian duty to report anything suspicious going on concerning the Church and the true faith. If you're aware of anything of the sort in these parts, if you prove yourself a commendable servant of the Church, I would also take that into account in judging Yochanka's case.
All right, Monsignor. I'll bear that in mind.
May the Lord watch over you.
Рихтаршат, отец Фабиан, брат Никодим. Пойдем проверять место, где передаются материалы, а потом зажерили.
Yeah. Yeah.
Так, а чё, а где? Так, вот он лесок. Вот дорога. Дорога. Значит, выше гораздо. Вообще где-то здесь, наверное. Опять дорога. Дорога, затем вот он этот, вот этот. А это прям вот куда-то сюда. Вот оно. Кто-то там сидит. Разбойник.
Why are you just sitting around?
Why not? Admiring the view. People just do not appreciate a lovely view these days.
Does the name Rapota ring any bells for you?
Rapota, you say? Rapota. No, I can't hear any bells ringing at all.
Admiring the view, my arse. If you ever want to see another view again, I suggest you answer my question.
Ha! I've been more impressively threatened by my sister's baby.
Fuck you. Ignorance is bliss.
Wise words. Really? You've...
Я его сейчас прямо здесь развалю. Ой-ой-ой, еще один. Ни хрена тут нету. Просто по нулям.
Yeah.
Короче, подумываю насчет того, чтобы выбрать на суде Йоханки только тех свидетелей, с которыми мы завалили дело. Это будет забавно. Все будут ее говорить, что типа она там вообще куку. И в итоге ее быстренько сольют. В общем, забавно.
Are you after something? I'm afraid my friend here won't tell you much.
Your friend? Oh, I'm very sorry. And, well, I don't want to be insensitive, but I was hoping to get something from him. My master's necklace, which he won at dice.
Your master? Who would that be?
Well, Sir Radzig Cobbler of Skalitz is my liege lord. I'm Henry, but just now I'm helping Sir Hans Capon with a private matter.
Those are weighty names in these parts. I'm Sir Anselm of Domkey, in the service of... well, that's not important. I'd like to give you... that is... I'd like to ask you for your help.
I'm listening. Tell me what you know.
I will. And I'm sure it will help you find that necklace. The thing is, this is all my fault. I got held up on the way to meet Alphonse. By the time I got here, I found him like this.
God have mercy on his soul.
Amen, lad. I was heartbroken and enraged by turns, tearing my hair and cursing. Alphonse was my good friend, and it pains me to know he was only here on account of me. I brought him into a certain business matter to negotiate with some people, and he agreed. And this is how it ended up. When I finally pulled myself together, I took a look around and found some tracks. I followed them to the camp of those very brigands that Alphonse was supposed to negotiate with.
Yeah, you can't trust anyone these days. So how can I help?
You can pass yourself off as Alphonse. Get into the bandits' camp and find that fucking murderer. And when you do, you'll find what you're looking for.
My word, the whole thing sounds like quite a twisted affair.
So are you going to help me?
The thing is, frankly, I don't believe a word you've said. I reckon you killed him yourself, and you spun some nonsensical yarn to put me off the scent. And now you try and send me right into your bandit cronies' camp to get my throat cut. Or would you murder me yourself while I sleep, like you did him?
What in God's name are you saying? You can't be serious. You doubt my honor. You call me a murderer?
I do.
Then you'll pay for it. No doubt you're in league with the killer yourself.
Ну,
And you'll confess to it before I kill you.
драка, драка, драка. Развалили. Топор, конечно, жесткая тема. Магдебургский меч. Неплохо. Хорошее оружие. Гораздо больше защиты. Колющий и режущий урон чуть-чуть слабее. Зато больше прочность. Минимальная сила 11. Длинный меч, между прочим. Все, теперь пользуемся только магдебургским мечом. Хорошая тема. Золотые шпоры, ни хрена себе. Магдебургский латный, миланский латные. Панский панцирь. Бацинетик, шоссе. Шаперон, темные сапоги дворянина. Ну, я хочу сказать, что топовые вещи у него. Определенно. Дублет. А у нас на нас какой саксонский окрашенный комбинезон надет. Попробуем этот украшенный дублет сейчас отремонтировать. Ой-ой-ой. Так. Так, что он из себя теперь представляет? Говорят, что он даже лучше, чем саксонский окрашенный. Надеваем украшенный тогда. Далее. Миланские латные. Миланские латные. Ладно, сейчас отремонтируем, посмотрим, что они из себя представляют. Итак. Панский панцирь хуже. Миланские латные непонятно, магнитбургские. Такие же у меня сейчас есть на мне, точнее они надеты. Не, все остальное уже или наравне, или хуже.
Someone was searching for something here. Were they out to rob him of everything he had, or something in particular? Looks like he died without a struggle, maybe killed in his sleep. They took everything he had, money, jewelry, even his boots.
Грибочек. Оп.
Could it be someone was trying to get rid of something here?
Так, есть какая-то карта. Сазава, переправа и пришли.
It looks like someone went this way with the nobleman's horse.
То есть, если мы, в принципе, пойдем по следам. Да, вижу следы. Вот они все следы. Странник. Так, да, вот они следы идут. Нашли примирительный крест какой-то. Короче, пока скачем по дороге. Копыт больше не видно вроде как. какой-то момент нужно будет свернуть в лес. Вот только в какой? Ну вот так вот ночью скакать, конечно, неприятно. Дорожка какая-то. Не, мне кажется, надо выше подниматься. О! Я думал, я сейчас откинусь. Реально чуть не упал. Кстати, метка потерялась. Это значит, я не туда. Не туда путь держу. Надо возвращаться обратно. Вот, я в лагере. Теперь мне надо чуть-чуть вверх и вот туда. Вот туда как-то. Ладно, попробую чуть-чуть по дороге. Опять. И буду посматривать налево. Мало ли какая-нибудь все-таки тропинка есть. Вот здесь я налево в прошлый раз повернул. Здесь легкий заворот и получается вышка. Посматриваем влево. Есть тут что-то похоже на тропку. Ничего там не было похожего, но нам надо вот сюда сворачивать уже. Искать в ручном режиме. Даже нет никаких меток, то что я примерно в этой области нахожусь. Опять чуть не упал. Да блин. Ну реально ночью хер найдешь. Очень тяжело. Че, еще даже 12 нет. Опа. Попал я в нужное место. Опять пропало. Опять попал. Так, это на пробку похоже, да? Или у меня глюки? Ага. Я здесь в прошлый раз тоже поднимался, помню. Так, допустим, идем по вот этой тропке. Идем, идем, идем. Что-то где-то она здесь пропадает. Так, место охоты на оленей я нашел. Отлично. И я потерял опять метку. Олень. Опять появилась. Примерно в этом треугольнике мне надо искать их. Там вроде большое хозяйство-то. Как я найти ничего не могу. Нашел. Где этот вход в лагерь? Ага. Вот это уже похож на вход в лагерь. Я не с той стороны зашел. Сохранюсь-ка я на всякий случай. Главное, чтобы меня... шнапсика хватило.
Would I be right in assuming this is the encampment of Sir Erhard, Baron Bielewitz?
You must be Sir Alphonse, eh? All the way from Prague, eh?
Not at all, Goodman. From Slanik.
Ah, well, that's quite a haul. How was your journey?
As well as might be expected in these perilous times.
Oh, aye. The roads ain't safe at all these days. There's all sorts of rabble waiting to rob and weary folk and even kill them.
Indeed, indeed, I concur. One must be wary, well, cautious, even when travelling.
Right. But you'll have to wait a while. Sir Erhard is busy at the moment.
No matter, I shall just,
But it's easy to pass the time here. There's always a dice game going on with nice things being wagered. I had my eye on a fine pair of gauntlets and some old piece of jewellery.
Jewellery, you say?
That's right. Just go and see old Blaha, the fella sitting at that table there. He can read, write, and do sums as good as any scribe, and other things too. He keeps things in shape here a bit.
Thank you. I may well do that.
Помню, я их чуть ли всех не перебил. И не грабанул. В какой-то момент. Они вот все в этот сундук раздеваются и уходят. Что тут, сход-развал всем разбойникам на планете делать? Ладно, развалим всех, значит.
Is that the best you can do?
О, всех развалили. Меня, кстати, почти не побили. Так-то, на секундочку. У меня, так сказать, был свой квест. На сход-развал, так сказать, кабинетов. Зато здесь сейчас лежит столько добычи. Ух. Правда, они все такие голенькие, так сказать. Я представляю, если бы они были в фулл доспехах. О, кости классные. Прямо классные кости. Турнирные стрелы, блин. Я думаю, я еще тут не всех развалил, поэтому надо быть сейчас аккуратным. Тем более мы тут сейчас ночью перемещаемся, поэтому всякое может быть. О, кто-то спит. Ключ от сундука. Интересно, от какого? Надеюсь, от этого? Нет, не повезло. Сохранишь-ка я еще разок. Их тут трое.
Hey!
Someone there.
You can't hide from me.
Это какой-то бронированный. Я бы лучше взял булаву. Я бы лучше взял бы булаву и щит в руки. Так, -1. -2. Это какой-то жесткий боец, что ли, не могу понять. Да. Лукаш Беловицкий. Неужели босс качалки? Короче, кого-то мы тоже бахнули тут как следует. Магдебургский меч, еще один, ни хрена себе. Это, наверное, точно босс качалки. Лукаш Беловицкий. Тесак мастера ловчего тоже, мое уважение, так сказать. Хороший шмот, хороший. Вот это тоже был довольно заряженный боец, на первый взгляд. Так, ну что, я наконец это могу? Могу этот сундук открыть уже или нет? Ни хрена. Нет ключа. Нет ключа. Нуцкий лавы осмотреть лошадь. Хуже моей. Так-то, на секундочку. Какие-то окольные пути. Окольные, реально. Заброшки вот эти вот какие-то. Куда она побежала-то? А, это тут другая лошадь. Я все понял. Так вот, внимание, вопрос. Ожерелье-то где? Кого? Должен же быть нормальный целый домик, правильно? Вот он. А я его даже скрыть не могу. Ха! Кошмар. Это не серьезно. Должен же быть какой-то другой путь, может быть. Не могу я открыть эту дверь эту. А мне как бы сюда надо. Наверное. Или не туда мне надо. О, все, найдено. Я уже и забыл, что мне надо сюда, а не куда-то в другое место. Вот здесь какой-то есть подвал, можно запросто попасть куда следует окольными путями. Вот, например, через вот эту щель в земле. Вот мы вошли, зашли сюда, раз, сюда наверх, сюда, открыли и все, и всех обокрали, собственно. Красота. Я выбрал, правда, немножко такой путь забавный, но зато я обзавелся крутыми костями. Обзавелся костями. Спим до утра и отправляемся обратно в город. Также здоровье себе поправляем. Все-таки меня немножко подбили. Итак. Поговори. Рихтер же, точнее, поединки о поединке. Так, нам нужны свидетельские показания Павла, отца Фабиана, Гуты. Ну, насчет Рихтера не знаю. Скажет ли он о ней что-нибудь нормальное? Что-то как будто не в ту сторону скачу. Мне бы какую-нибудь дорогу бы найти. Для ориентира хотя бы. Так, дорога есть. Далее, вероятнее всего, вот он. Выход раз. Причем интересный выход такой, это прям аж здесь, что ли? Вот здесь мы вышли. Если не выше. Скорее всего, еще выше. Где-то здесь, наверное. Да. Ничего себе мы вышли, получается. Вот здесь. Вот здесь мы вышли. Вот мы сейчас до этого мостика доскакали. Офигеть. Офигеть. Вообще не в ту сторону скакали. Но я подозревал, на самом деле, что так все и будет. Мешочек есть. Всегда хотелось выпить вот это вот неизвестное снадобье, но чаще всего это просто отрава. Так, еще раз сюда заскочим. Чисто не спросить, а поинтересоваться. Нет, тут все так же пусто. Так, еще раз. Мы в церкви. Нам нужно показания. В церкви никого. У корчмы. У брата. Ой, у брата. У Колина. Или Калина. Как его там? Из Калина. Спец? Это кто? Чей значок-то не могу понять.
Jesus Christ,
My friend, you're a trader. Help me out here. I'm after some quicksilver.
well, I've been there several times myself and come back empty-handed. They fobbed me off 3 times over.
And who exactly are you talking about? Who's holding back the goods on you?
The monastery overseer, or his assistant, more like.
So what did the overseer have to say to you?
Nothing. Apparently he doesn't deal in such trifles. Leaves it all to his assistant, the pompous git.
What do you need quicksilver for?
I don't. They do. To mix up the red pigment for me. I'm painting the church in Ujits. Can you imagine how stupid those biblical scenes look without red?
Not really.
Then be glad you can. My eyes hurt just to imagine it.
Surely such valuable material can't just vanish. Where can it be?
I wish I knew. Every time I ask for the red paint, there's a different reason why they haven't got the quicksilver to mix it. Once they said the goods never arrived, and another time that the wagon carrying it was ambushed. Then it went astray somewhere.
And you think they're lying?
Jesus, what do I know? But it seems pretty strange to me. 3 times in a row the same thing goes missing. There's bad luck and then there's something else.
That's all I need to know.
Ah. But wouldn't you care to buy something before you go?
Why not?
May the Lord watch over you.
Well, Master Painter,
Yes, unfortunately. And my
there's always time for some dice.
farewell.
Давайте посмотрим, как вы играете. Сейчас я как свои кости расчехлю нахрен. Вот он офигеет. Этих костей уже, ё-моё.
One beer for me.
Will certainly be a fine church here, but I doubt it will surpass Peter Parler's church of St. Bartholomew.
Давай так попробуем.
We'll see whose side Lady Luck is on.
Оба! Ни хрена себе. Хорошо работает, кстати. Сразу 8 соток. И бросок номер 2. Оба! 1. 3 шестерки. Еще 1. Да ладно. Я выиграл. Бедный художник, вы. 2 броска 2100 просто.
One beer.
Goodman Pavel, you're still here. That's a relief. I was afraid I'd miss you.
Yes, yes, still here, but not for long. I had some business to deal with, but now that's out of the way and I'm getting ready to leave. What was it you wanted?
You might have heard that Yochanka was arrested by the Inquisitor and is facing trial.
I heard of it all right. It was only a matter of time.
How do you mean?
I was talking to Father Fabian about that penance and Yochanka also came up. He said he doesn't believe Our Lady visited Yochanka or that it was a sacred sign. He thinks she's misled.
But couldn't you just say a few words in her defense? After all, her words meant something to you and encouraged you to be more generous.
I can't deny it, but in hindsight I believe I was also misled. Besides which I must leave. I've already delayed too long.
Well, God go with you.
Farewell.
Эх, с этим свидетелем не прокатило. Так, Рихтарш, отец и этот у портного Гута. Гуталинку. Сейчас мы так зацепим. Оп. Вот он, портной. Кстати, наверное, у него надо будет и отремонтироваться, попробовать.
Well?
Well, I tried.
Oh, Henry. All I can do now is...
Это уже было.
Make it...
I need your help with some. I'm sure you've heard. Yochanka was locked up by the Inquisitor.
Who hasn't? The whole of Sasso is talking about it. And the Inquisitor was asking around about her.
I'd like to ask you to appear before the court and say something in Yochanka's defense.
I understand, but you'll have to forgive me. I don't want to show my face there. Never mind speak for Yochanka. I wouldn't want people to associate me with her. What with her being a heretic, see?
People and their evil tongues. But I understand. It's a tricky business. I won't push you.
God be with
Ну, короче, всем тем, кому я не помог, соответственно, говорят про то, что не будут вставать на ее защиту. Причем мне интересно, индульгенция сейчас выйдет. 510? Ха. Неплохо.
Father, the Inquisitor has had Yochanka thrown in jail.
I know, son.
He's planning a hearing.
Rightly so. It's about time this whole matter was dealt with.
What do you think about it then?
As I say, it's a good thing that the matter is being investigated. The things Yochanka has been preaching are, to say the least, disturbing. Who knows what these dreams are that she speaks of? And her words are only putting ideas in people's heads and leading them astray. Now, instead of going to church, as they should, they go to her in the false belief that they will find solace. It's creating a chasm between the people and the church and leading them away from the true teaching left to us by Christ. They're misguided and swamped in heretical ideas.
But Yochanka is no heretic. She's a good, kind girl who's only trying to do the right thing. I'll defend her.
Suit yourself. But mind you don't get ensnared in her fallacies and leave it to the bishop to judge the matter.
Of course.
Take care now.
Так, как раз к Рихтаржу пойдем за пум-пум-пум. За показаниями и за дракой на дубинках. На волшебных палочках, так сказать.
Master Bailiff, Inquisitor Yaroslav is going to try Yochanka.
I know. He was here asking questions too.
Oh? What did he want to know?
Various things. Like how things are here, whether people are honest, whether we observe the fest days and so forth. And then he asked about Yochanka, about what she preaches, whether people come to listen to her and that. He's been talking to a lot of other people in Sasau too. I even heard that Katra, the swordsmith's wife.
That's interesting. Thanks for telling me. Was he just asking questions, or does he want you to testify before the court?
Yes, he did ask me to testify, and I'm none too happy about it.
I see. And what are you going to say about her?
It depends what I'm asked. but there's not much I can say. I don't know Yоханka very well. She seems virtuous and self-sacrificing to me. She's never done anything wrong, and no one here ever had a cross word to say about her. Until recently. Maybe some gossip about her and Sir Sebastian. But I've heard similar talk about half the women folk here.
Now, that's just idle gossip. Yochanka is a virtuous girl.
True. But then there's that preaching of hers. Folk have been falling out. They're split according to whether they believe Yochanka or not. I don't know quite what to think of it myself. But I don't want to jump to conclusions. I'll wait and see what the learned bishop has to say.
Thank you for speaking openly, Master Bailiff.
Good luck then.
Так, драка на дубинках, погнали.
Good God, you look terrible. Did someone attack you?
Is there anything interesting?
I wouldn't say interesting. More like a pain in the ass.
I've come about the duel.
We could announce it right now.
Let's do it.
I'll have it announced around town. You come along at just the right time. Good luck then. Good citizens of Sasau, our township has long been plagued by a protracted dispute. As you are no doubt aware, Zach, the blacksmith of the monastery courtyard, and Master Armourer Otto Rabstein have been, for some time, at odds. And in so much as it behoves my office as bailiff to settle such disputes and maintain peace and order, I have decided to resolve the blacksmith's quarrel by unconventional means, whilst affording an entertaining spectacle. In short, we shall let them knock each other's teeth out. However, since it ill befits two respectable tradesmen to maul each other on the market square like a pair of cocks on a dung heap, each of them has elected a champion. Zach, the blacksmith, has appointed to fight in his stead Henry of Scarlets. And Master Otto Rabstein's champion will be... Please, introduce yourself, Sir Knight.
Master Otter will fight for Master Otter. I don't need some young pup to take my place.
I remind you that this will be a duel with bludgeons alone, and until first blood is shed. Come, folks, be sensible for heaven's sake. We don't want any maiming here, or, God forbid, murder. So, if both contestants are ready, let us begin.
Надо проиграть. Ух, ни хрена мне насували уже. Такой, а где противник? Я никого не вижу. Да все, кровь уже полилась, придурочно. На.
What the hell are you playing at, you blockhead? That old fart made a complete fool of you.
Actually, I made a deal with Otter before the fight. That's why I lost.
What? You Judas! You pay me back for that. I'll go to the bailiff.
Will you? And what good do you think that'll do you? The bailiff is fed up to the back teeth with your stupid row. He'll just laugh in your face.
But, that's dishonorable.
Just like your slander about Master Otter. Now you've had a taste of your own medicine.
This isn't over yet, boy.
I don't doubt it. Now run along. I'm sure you still have lots of people you want to slander.
Стражник на заднем фоне, ничего такой. Здоровье 13. Потрясающе нахрен. О.
God be with you.
I'd like to make you an offer. Have you heard about
Don't bother me now, young fella. Goodbye.
Ему нужно разобраться с Отто. Ну да, конечно. Так мы тебе и поверили.
Greetings, good knight.
I'll come for my reward.
Look here. You didn't happen to tell anyone we made a deal, did you?
No, I'm not stupid.
It's just, I heard some rumours.
Probably more of Zach's mudslinging.
Except this time, what they're saying is actually true.
So what? You won, didn't you?
True enough. I'll give you one of my older pieces, but I adjusted it so it'll fit you like a glove.
Thanks.
If you ever need anything else, stop by.
I will. Master Blacksmith, I've got a great offer for you.
I'm with you, lad. Ever since we put that bastard Zach in his place...
We finished building the new armourer's workshop in Pribyslavitz.
Oh, you don't say. Well done, Henry. Who'd have thought that village of ghosts would ever come back to life? And I appreciate that you thought of me. But do you really need a...
19 у него, ни хрена себе.
I'll gladly give you a bit of coin to get started until your new shop starts turning some profit.
It's always profitable to expand trade. I'll leave the shop here to an apprentice and get things going in Pribyslavitz.
Красота. Так. Что мы делаем теперь? С этими поговорили, с этими поговорили. Что-то там с женой оружейника можно поговорить еще. Промазал слегонца. По-моему. Да. На пару дворов промазал.
I'm here about Yоханka.
You're that fella of hers, are you? What do you want?
No. I'm just a friend of hers. Matthias is her, fella.
Huh. God knows how many she has.
I heard you invited Bishop Yaroslav to come and dine with you?
Yes, so what? Bishop Yaroslav is an esteemed visitor to Sasau, and it's only fitting he should be suitably hosted by devout burghers.
And what did you talk about?
What we discussed with the Monsignor is none of your business.
What have you got against Yochanka?
Nothing. The question is, what has she got against us? Tell me that.
What?
She turns up here and tries to tell us how to live our lives. Says the Virgin Mary whispers to her in the night. Yeah, I'm sure. To a simple village wench. I'd like to know who's really putting those ideas in her head. She's just getting people all worked up. Men, especially. Coming around here with her nonsense. Sasau is a decent, orderly place, I'll have you know. We don't want any trouble here. All this talk about hellfire and the end of the world. God have mercy. No one is interested in what she has to say. All they want is some spectacle. She ought to have thought twice before she started. Not that she wasn't warned.
I've heard all I need to hear.
I'll tell you one more thing, though. The good bishop came just at the right time. He'll soon put a stop to this abomination, and we'll be able to sleep again at night. He summoned me to testify in court, and I'll do it too. I'll tell him everything.
Then I'll see you there.
Huh. Take care.
Интересно, а если ей сейчас навалять, сможет ли она дать показания в суде? Интересно, интересно. Проверять мы это, конечно же, не будем. Надо пойти для начала подлечиться, наверное. Пойдем к этим к мыльщицам. Подлечиться, постираться. Одежду там заштопать.
Make it quick, though.
I'd like to make use
So what are you in?
a bit of everything.
I'm sure you take care.
Ну, 5 часов это сильно, конечно. О, другое дело. Итак. Еще раз карту проверим. Продолжить расследование в кабинете смотрителя нам надо. Далее. Вернуться в Ротая. Ну и, соответственно, суд. И увидим концовочку. Что же сделают с Йоханкой? Ну, какой-то положительной концовки там, скажу, нету. Все очень печально, все очень грустно. Вспомним бы кабинет смотрителя на каком этаже это вообще? По-моему, на втором справа, да? Должно быть.
What was that noise?
Помощник смотрителя.
God be with you.
Do you have any quicksilver?
Who's asking?
Nobody. I'm just asking.
Then I don't have any.
That sounds almost as if you don't want to.
It's not that I don't want.
Bollocks. Tell me this instant what you've done with the goods.
Nothing! And I'd advise you to calm down. We're on hallowed ground.
You're a fine one to speak of hallowed ground, a lying thief in monastic robes. What next? A whore dressed as a nun?
This is blasphemy!
I'll give you blasphemy. I'm sure you know what our Lord did to the money changers in the temple.
What do you mean? You're not going to hurt me, are you?
Я не буду тебя бить, я тебя просто проткну.
Jesus. But I didn't know anything about any counterfeiting.
For your sake, I hope that's true. Now tell me what's been going on.
I swear, I wouldn't normally do anything like that.
Get to the point.
They came for me at noon. Directly to the office. The overseer was somewhere on his rounds. Some night, it was. Without a crest. Armed. He called himself Sir Jezek, and he had a lackey with him called Rapota. A scruffy fellow with a yellow cape. Always whistling he was. They told me they wanted all the quicksilver we order for the monastery. Of course, I told him that wouldn't be possible.
And then what? Did they threaten you?
Not at first. They tried to bribe me, and when I refused, they started threatening.
How did you hand it over to them?
I take it up the hill behind the monastery here. There's a big tree there with a small chapel underneath. Sometimes Rapota is there waiting for me. If not, I leave it there.
Very well. Thank you.
God be with you.
А вот и сам смотритель.
Good day to you.
It was young Zmola. What? Zmola's the one responsible for all the thefts and death.
Sweet.
Dead.
So is that the end?
It looks that way.
God bless. Farewell.
Вспомнил, конечно, этот, как его, момент. И новый навык. Незаметность 10. Классно. Собаки это неплохо. Эх, неинтересные книжки какие-то тут у ребят. Ну, так вот потренировались в незаметности, в открытии замков. По факту можно, конечно, и в монастырь днем зайти. Чисто поприкалываться. Сейчас сохранимся. Надо будет пойти еще шнапсиков купить. Да ё-моё. Чисто на разведку. Идем на разведку. Карта сокровищ 2. Какая-то страница из книги. А, это типа коллекционочки эти. Ой-ой-ой. Ухожу. Страница из книги. Страница из книги. Да. Страница из книги. Ну туда лучше днем, точнее ночью идти, потому что, ну понятное дело, все будут спать, там доспехи снять, можно будет нам книжку как раз намутить, эту веселую. Так, а я сохранился, да? Ну-ка, чисто ради интереса. Ну, вы видели, да? Я чисто не спросил, а поинтересовался. Мне реально было интересно, что будет.
Who's there?
You have no business here if you aren't a monk.
Пам, пам, пам. Ключ от монастыря тем временем у меня появился. Ключ от запретных книг. Ничего себе. Ой-ой-ой. Все, сдаюсь. Так. Если я выберу второй вариант ответа, провал. Бежать.
Stop right where you are. Surrender. You've committed a violation. You're under arrest. Don't move a finger. Hey, you. Oh, gonna cry now. What's the matter? Hey, you. Lost your balls. Don't move a muscle. You. Stop right where you are. You there. Stop.
Да блин, хорош меня со спины уже пика. Заколебали. Их слишком много. Грустненько. И как вообще Приор, вот этот товарищ Приор, ожил? Он там на заднем фоне. Он как встал и пошел. Нормальная тема вообще. Так, здесь пусто, как обычно. Так, дубль 2.
Apague, Satanas.
Hey, you!
Да в смысле?
Move a muscle. Don't move a finger.
Еще они ко мне пристали, блин.
Yeah. Stop. Right where you are.
Все от меня что-то хотят, блин. Ты-то что хочешь от меня?
I've got you, you bastard. This definitely won't come cheap.
80?
Just my luck. Look, I can't tell you anymore. The fate of the whole empire hangs in the back.
Well, I thought...
Ура! Мне опять все простили. Крутяк же получается. Крутяк. Так, ладно, тогда, наверное, кушаем. Далее спим на кроватке. Матей все еще валяется обдолбанный. А, энергия 100. Нахрена мне спать тогда? Не надо мне спать. Все путем у нас. Тогда идем заканчивать квест Йоханочки. Я буду защищать ее на поединке.
Monsignor, I've heard of various...
Very good, my son. Please.
Так.
A demon's skull was found on the church building site.
Yes. I heard something about it. A disturbing report. Tell me what you know about it.
It was a deception, sir. Someone made it with evil intentions, to frighten people. I found the skull and brought it to the local knacker. He confirmed it was a human skull with animal horns stuck on.
You did the right thing, Henry, in uncovering the deception and in telling me about it.
The former parish priest of Rovna, Father Simon, went missing one day. Everyone thought he'd fled from the province, but in fact he just went to the woods and became a hermit.
I see. Why did he do that?
I couldn't tell you.
That's a pity. But I'm glad you told me about him.
There were Valdensians hiding in Ujits.
Really? And how did you find out about it?
Sir Hanush sent me to help the vicar track them down and catch them.
So, Sir Hanush had an interest in finding them?
Yes, that's right.
I'm pleased to hear it. It's not always possible to see eye to eye with secular lords in such matters. And how did it end up with the members of the sect?
I tracked them down and reported them to the vicar, and then he had them taken to Kuttenberg for trial.
Good. Good. There have been all sorts of sects and false doctrines spreading in recent times. It's the work of Satan. I'm glad you told me about it, Henry.
There are interesting things going on inside the monastery.
In the monastery? What kind of things?
Oh, various things that people are talking about. There's a lot of talk about the construction of the new church and how much it must be costing. But actually, nothing that would interest you, really.
As you wish.
Some women in Ujits went to the herbalist for magic ointment. Then they went to the woods, smeared this ointment on themselves, and engaged in all sorts of incantations and spells.
What? Witchcraft? God have mercy. They must be brought to justice. Who is this herbalist they visited?
Not to worry, Monsignor. Father Godwin put a stop to it.
Well, that's good news at least. Witchcraft will not be tolerated under any circumstances.
Well, the parish priest in Ujits is rather unorthodox. Not that he's a bad person, not at all. He takes good care of his flock, no doubt. It's just that he drinks quite a lot. In fact, he's even said mass while drunk. And, he keeps a concubine.
That distresses me. All the more so because what you describe isn't at all unique amongst the clergy. Thank you for telling me, Henry. Matters like this certainly must be addressed.
That's all.
All right, Henry.
I'm ready.
Ладно, погнали.
Excellent. I have also completed my investigation. We may commence then with the proceedings?
Yes.
Good. I will send for everyone who is to bear witness and have Yochanka brought before the court. We'll commence first thing tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
One more thing. These are solemn proceedings that demand a certain decorum. I won't tolerate any clanking armor or otherwise inappropriate attire. You will wear this robe.
Of course. Thank you, Monsignor.
Very well. Rest now, and we'll meet in the morning.
God be with you.
Ну, меня и одели, конечно. Как лоха сельского.
Let us begin.
Защищать ее мы не будем.
I, Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov, by the grace of God, Papal Inquisitor, have come here to Sasau in response to reports of Marian visitations and the preaching activities of one Yochanka, a commoner. And I have found indeed that by her arbitrary words she's been leading good people astray and encouraging their rebellion against their betters. Furthermore, Yochanka has attempted to usurp the glory that belongs alone to Holy Mother Church and to appoint herself as an intermediary of the wisdom and grace of Almighty God. This does not behove any lay person, and certainly not a woman. It is therefore necessary to remedy her transgressions, and to investigate the extent and the basis of her misguidance. Or, as the case may be, heresy. Henry of Skalitz has elected to appear here in Yochanka's defense, and his wish has been allowed. Anyone who elects to speak here does so before God, and shall be bound by a most sacred oath to speak only the truth. I will first hear the testimony of Father Fabian, who sent me word of this matter, and who should best know what deeds are done in his parish. Father Fabian, will you tell us what Yochanka has been proclaiming?
Yochanka claims that she has received visitations from Our Lady, the Holy Mother of God, who speaks to her in the night. It is an outrageous claim that I hold to be entirely untrue.
And did Yochanka come forward to ask your advice regarding these alleged apparitions?
She did not. Instead, she took it upon herself to spread her supposed wisdom to the people.
And prior to this, did Yochanka attend church? Did you see her at your sermons, Father?
I did not, Monsignor. What's more, the parish priest of Skalitz is staying at my presbytery just now. Yochanka knows him well enough, but she didn't come to see even him. I believe Yochanka is deliberately avoiding the church. Instead, she meets her followers secretly in the woods and preaches to them. Either she made everything up, or the devil himself is whispering in her ear.
Indeed. Avoidance of the church is one of the distinguishing signs of heresy.
As I surmised, Monsignor.
Let us continue then. Father Fabian?
As you already said, Monsignor, it's not the place of a simple female to preach so-called wisdom.
You're right, Father Fabian. That is quite untoward. Let's proceed then. Is there anything else you want to add, Henry?
I have nothing to add, Monsignor.
Fabian, have you had trouble with heretics before, or had any suspicions of heresy here?
Not much, Monsignor. Now and then there have been traveling preachers and various charlatans here and there. Although, I did recently get reports that there were members of the Waldensian sect hiding in the province.
Yes, I heard of that. They were dealt with by the vicar who came here to track them down. Henry here helped catch them. Thank you, Father Fabian. That's all.
I'm glad to have been of service, Monsignor.
Call Hoshek, bailiff of Sasau. Bailiff, has there been any suspicious activity here recently?
Well, there have been cumins on the rampage in the woods and on the roads, and all sorts of bands of footpads and brigands around the province. And recently, a few troublemakers were killed near the monastery gate.
На меня смотрит.
Such things don't happen without cause. It's a clear indication that something is rotten in the district of Sasau. And what of Yochanka, bailiff? Has she been inciting the people here?
И на меня смотрит. Блин, так забавно было.
I hardly know her. She hasn't broken any laws, and folks speak well of her, for the most part. Although it's true, things have been a bit tense here, on account of her speeches.
Continue.
Quite a lot of people have been going to her since she started with that preaching. Some are even convinced she's a holy woman. From what I heard, they bring her small gifts or ask for her advice or blessing.
Sacrilege! People coming for blessings and bringing her gifts. That has all the makings of a cult.
Oh, I don't know, Monsignor. Begging your pardon, but that's overstating it a bit. But it's true. They met outside town, too, and it came to a bit of a skirmish. And that went too far. There were people killed.
That's deplorable. Violence in broad daylight, neighbor against neighbor. There you have it. Yochanka did incite people to evil. Her heresy has taken root and clouded people's minds.
Well, that's about all I can tell you, Monsignor.
Thank you, Bailiff. That will be all. And you, Henry, you've been around Yochanka more than anyone. Do people come to her for blessings?
I don't know anything about that. But when someone comes to her, she tries to help them, like a good Christian.
Henry, I'm sure you're aware that to lie here is a mortal sin and a crime.
I do. And I'm not lying.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing else, Monsignor.
Very well. Now, I wish to question Katra, the swordsmith's wife. Bring her here. Katra, you are a respected townswoman who has a good overview of what goes on in Sasau. As you told me earlier, will you tell me now what you know of Yochanka and her deeds?
Yes, I'll tell you everything, Monsignor. Yochanka has been putting ideas into people's heads and causing chaos. What right has she to preach to us? A simple girl like that. As if we were bad people here, and she herself is a sinner. And an adulterer, a loose woman she is, who goes with anyone. And even fornicated with the custodian, Sir Sebastian.
All right, Katra. That will be all. I have also heard rumors of Yochanka's immorality that cannot be ignored. Bring here the Sasau custodian, Sir Sebastian von Berg. Sir Sebastian, my apologies for raising the matter, but doubts have been cast on your virtue. I have been told that you have shared your bed with Yochanka. Is it true?
Monsignor, with respect, this is surely some mistake. Yochanka is not a bad girl, and by no means a heretic.
Noted. Now please answer my question. Did you share your bed with Yochanka or not?
Yes, but she's not.
Silence! So, Yochanka not only incites rebellion against the nobles, but also seduces them into sin and immorality.
Вообще грешница, ужас.
That kind of thing goes on all the time. On every farm there's some maid who's obliged to let the farmer fuck her, and under every castle wall there's a wench or two who has a child with the local lord.
Enough! Do not abase these proceedings with
Прорвало, бля, Генри.
Monsignor, let's put a stop to this. It's undignified for us both. And for Yochanka. She's no heretic, just a confused young girl to whom fate has been less than kind. Her confusion will pass. All it needs is for someone to explain to her the error of her ways. There's no necessity for extreme measures.
Sir Sebastian, be so kind as to leave the judgment of Yochanka's transgressions to me. You may go. Henry? You proved yourself an exemplary and faithful servant of the Church when you drew my attention to the many iniquities that have been happening hereabouts. You've been very keen to appear here in Yochanka's defense. You've said a lot about her, but please, tell me why you've been helping her all this time.
Ну-ка, а если просрочить вариант?
Monsignor, she's my friend. After the terrible things that happened in Scalise, neither of us has many dear ones left. It seemed only right to me to help her.
You seem like a compassionate man. It certainly says something about Yochanka, that someone like you stands up for her. That will be all, Henry. Nothing remains but to question Yochanka herself.
Ой, сейчас она рот откроет.
You've heard the accusations brought against you, and we have also heard several testimonies. I already questioned you earlier. Yochanka, do you wish to revise the answers you gave earlier, or do you stand by what you said?
I stand by everything I told you.
So be it. I expressly forbade you to continue preaching, and you promised not to do so. You defied my instruction and broke your promise. Why?
Forgive me, Monseigneur. But I could do nothing else. Our Lady asked me to do it, and I couldn't refuse her. And I did the right thing. The Virgin Mary visited me again in my cell and showed me new things. Monks and prelates who took off their robes and put on princely cloaks instead. They threw down their staves, buckled on swords, and placed crowns on their heads. They rejected Christ's example and hoarded wealth for themselves. They paid no heed to the people, but only gave them absolution for money and...
Silence! You will not speak like that. I have already heard more than enough. These proceedings are closed. You may leave. Yochanka will now hear my verdict.
Yochanka, are you aware you're facing very grave accusations?
Yes, Monseigneur. I am.
You stand accused of preaching from ignorance and leading the people away from the protective embrace of Holy Mother Church. If you do not recant, you will suffer grave consequences.
Pride and ignorance clouded her reason.
Child, it would distress me greatly to have to pronounce a verdict of condemnation. Speak then. Do you recant your sermons and swear never again to preach to the people?
О,
Are
Герман.
you prepared to repent?
As God is my witness, I did all this with good intentions. And the Virgin Mary did visit me, and I would be lying before her, before God and my own conscience, if I denied it.
If you don't recant and return to the bosom of Holy Mother Church, then you have sealed your own fate. Take her. We must all be ever vigilant of Lucifer's evil designs and avoid being caught in his snares. Only Holy Mother Church can safeguard all Christian folks from the onslaught of the devil. Only Holy Mother Church cares for their souls so they may find salvation in the kingdom of heaven.
It's all true, and the will of the Blessed Virgin, her sacred will that I will never recant.
Sometimes, to save the body of the true church, it is necessary to amputate a gangrenous limb.
Full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and
Yochanka of Scarlets refuses to accept the truth and recant her delusive preaching. Her tongue is an instrument of the devil. It must be plucked out and cast from the body of the heretic, along with the devil, so that her soul may be purged of evil.
Комбо.
Despite her suffering, Yochanka remained faithful to her conviction. Brother Nicodemus tried to heal her terrible wounds, but in vain. Her cruel punishment was too much to endure. Matthias never lived to hear of Yochanka's fate. Soon afterwards, he succumbed to his sickness. Although it's forbidden to bury a heretic in consecrated ground, we lay Yochanka and Matthias to rest together, side by side, in a place where I hope they will finally find peace. As Brother Nicodemus said, surely God will forgive us for following our hearts.
Притом вроде бы похоронили их на фоне Скалица, если я не ошибаюсь. О, новый навык. Это я люблю. Ну он просто улучшился, но прям новых характеристик мне не дали ни хрена. Так, иди поговори с мастером Фейфаром. Затем вернуть ожерелье. Да вроде как и все. Ладно, пойдем к Фейфару. Узнаем, что кого. Благо он сюда вернулся.
Greetings. What business have you?
You look different, Master.
So as to fit in. I don't want it known that I'm in town.
Right.
So what have you found out so far?
I found out where they get their quicksilver from. You were right, it was the monastery.
It was the only logical explanation.
It changed hands on the hill behind the monastery.
Have you been there to have a look around?
I have, but I didn't find anything interesting.
And have you found out who's behind it?
Someone called Rapata.
Not much, but it's a start. At least it's not a common name. Listen, Henry, I had another thought on the way here. Those counterfeiters have to have a punch die to make the fake coins.
Yes, of course.
That's sophisticated work. There's a man I know who works at the monastery yard. Master engraver Jerome of Silesia.
You don't suppose that he's...
No, not that, God forbid. I know him well. He'd never do anything like that. But he runs an engraving workshop, so he might have heard something.
Very well, I'll ask him.
But ask with tact. I don't want him getting offended. And I prefer you not to mention me at all.
I'll try to think of something. That's all.
Good luck then.
Короче, сейчас я к нему завалюсь и скажу: а то бишь Фейфару, значит. Угорну над ним, значит. Все, понял. Чешем граверу. Но перед этим, наверное, посетим мыльщиц. И выберем побыть с девушкой. Они меня там и накормят, и я посплю, и все будет здорово.
What do you...
I'd like to...
And what is it?
I'd like...
I'm sure... May the Lord...
Часов на 6 сейчас как меня вырубит. На 5.
Good health to you.
How goes the work, Master?
Getting there, getting there. You need something, my boy?
What are you doing here, anyway?
You're in an engraver's shop, my boy. We're engraving, of course.
Yeah, but engraving what? And what's it used for?
Oh, we engrave wood and stone as well as metal. Here in the monastery, it's mostly about decoration.
You've got quite a large workshop, Master. You don't do all the work alone, surely?
I'm usually here with my apprentice, Florian. Of course, by simple observation, you'll note that this is not currently the case, and I'm here alone. Which means that either I'm a liar or something out of the ordinary has occurred.
I see. I think. So what's happened to Florian?
He shares the fate of the pharaohs for today. The fifth scourge of Egypt did smite him, the plague. Or so his message advised me.
Jesus Christ, the plague?
Do remain calm. I'm quite certain the plague from which Florian is suffering wasn't a judgment from on high. Or if it was a judgment on excessive drinking. I'm told such an ailment can be of truly biblical proportions.
What's he like, your apprentice, Florian?
I'm afraid that his exuberant youth has taken its toll. He's been acting strangely of late. I fear he has delusions of persecution.
I don't really know what you mean, at all.
Recently, for example, he told me that someone was following him. And the very next day, he bought a padlock from the blacksmith.
А я собираюсь.
As though I would ever sneak into it. In any case, why the interest? Are you looking for him?
Something like that.
May I ask why?
I have a message for him.
A message? Who would be interested in that wastrel? Other than his furious and deeply disappointed master, of course. About your question, you'll find him at home. No doubt feverishly dying. He sleeps in the baker's cellar.
Ah, thank you. Thank you. I'll leave you.
May the Lord watch over you.
Этого, наверное, тоже подкупили. Враги народа. Поэтому он шифруется. Опять попался на этот камушек. Здорово.
Good day to you.
You look quite sprightly for an invalid.
What? Who the hell are you?
My name's Henry, and I'm making inquiries for Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And what do you want from me?
Straight to the point then. All right. I've been investigating counterfeit money, and the trail led me straight to you. Does the name Rapiter mean anything to you?
I don't know. Maybe?
Don't bother. I know you know him. You make the punch dice for the counterfeiters. How do you hand them over? Do you know where their workshop is?
I can't say anything. I'll deny everything and you've got nothing on me. No evidence, just accusations.
Counterfeiting is a crime against the king. I don't have to prove anything to have you dragged straight to the executioner.
And what if you're wrong? What's then? Under torture, everyone confesses, whether they did it or not. You'll never know for sure.
I already know for sure. You admitted it yourself a moment ago.
I won't tell you anything just the same. I can't, even if I wanted to.
Why not?
Those bastards kidnapped Esther. If I don't cooperate, they'll kill her.
That doesn't begin to justify what you did.
I don't care. This isn't about me. Listen, I'll tell you everything, I promise. But only if I know that Esther's safe.
What, so I'm to go searching for her in the woods?
I know where they're keeping her, but nobody will help me. And what can puny little me do faced with those strapping great villains?
You're trying to haggle with me? Have you forgotten who I am?
I won't let you push me around.
What, you mean the way you aren't being pushed around by the kidnappers? You'd be more convincing if you weren't shaking in your shoes.
Jesus Christ, will this never end?
Now talk.
They found me in the tavern one evening, caught me when I went to the shit pile. They started to badger me about working for them.
They?
Yes, Rapiter. And a knight they called Sir Yezhek.
And then what?
They explained what they wanted from me, and I told them to sod off.
I'm guessing that didn't go down too well.
It wasn't all that bad. They just threw me on the dung heap and left. I thought it was just a drunkard's joke. But then they took Esther.
How did you hand over the punch die to them?
Rapiter waited for me behind the church. I didn't want to give it to them without seeing Esther first.
And did they let you?
Yes, although I don't really know why. They took me to a derelict farm in the Scalits Hills. My poor Esther, they'd scared her half to death.
So at least you know she's alive.
Who knows? It was a while ago. And they never let her go, even after I did what they wanted. They said they'd be needing more.
More punch dice?
They wear out over time. They have to be replaced regularly.
Where will I find Rapiter?
He's usually wherever I am.
What does that mean?
He watches me, everywhere I go. And when I'm at home, he sits on the bench in the square, watching my house.
So he's there now?
Hard to say. Sometimes I see him in the tavern on the green, buying supplies.
All right. At least I know where to start. And you go to work tomorrow, you hear?
Why?
Because we have to lure him out. And besides, your master will surely be glad to see you.
I have my doubts.
I suppose I better go. I'd hate the bastard to get away.
Go.
I hope you get revenge.
Ух, я ему сейчас насую, ух. Так, и как выглядит работа? Интересно. Здорово.
Are you Rappator by any chance?
Pardon me? Do we know each other?
No, but I'm hoping to change that.
Well, I don't have much time right now. I'd best be off.
It'll only take a moment.
All right then. What do you want?
I know you're buying copper from Zach the blacksmith.
It seems there's no point making excuses.
None. Now tell me where their workshop is.
Of course, of course. That will be the best solution.
So?
Let's leave it for another time. No, I give up.
Сдается он.
So, are you ready to talk?
Лошади нахерачил его.
I will. Just don't hurt me, please. What do you want from me?
Tell me where the workshop is. Don't worry. Your master won't be punishing you for betraying him. You're both going to have too many other problems.
It's in the Skalitz mines.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
On the eastern side of Skalitz Hill, there's an abandoned mine gallery. Well, it used to be abandoned. Now there's a small camp in front of it, and the workshop is inside.
Я, в принципе, представляю, где это находится.
Who is your lord?
Yezhek of Ronov. That's what he calls himself, although Ronov Castle's long gone.
What happened to it?
Ronov used to belong to Vincent, Count Lichtenberg. After his death, it fell to Margrave Jobst, and he had it pulled down. He knew full well that Vincent's vassals would resist him.
Why? Everyone knows that when a lord dies without issue, the king can confer his estate on whoever he pleases.
But Vincent had descendants. Ronov only fell to the Margrave because he declared them all illegitimate. All because Vincent had refused to fight for him against Sir Prokop. Sir Yezhek led a revolt of the vassals, but Jobst rounded them all up. Only Sir Yezhek got away. Since then, he's become the scourge of the domain.
So who's Sir Yezhek working for? Don't tell me he just took it into his head one day to start forging coins.
That's not for me to know. Sir Yezhek was on speaking terms with various lordships.
Such as?
We were often guests at the monastery, but I slept in the hayloft, so I heard nothing.
And apart from that?
In the camp, you'd occasionally see a Hungarian nobleman, but I don't know what he was doing there, or who he is.
I think I've heard enough.
Can I ask you something?
Yes?
I don't want to hang. It's a horrible death. I prefer you just kill me here and now.
As you wish.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Собака, отойди, ёп. Бой топором качнули. Ништяк. Так, все, валим отсюда. Ты сейчас нас еще в убийстве. В убийстве нас еще сейчас. Так, нам надо сюда скакать. Тут, короче, есть такая тема, то что из Скалицких рудников мы сможем оказаться прямо в Вратае. А тут мы как раз и принесем Птачеку Ожерелье. То есть, что делаем? Скачем в Штольню. Скачем в Штольню. Сохраняемся и до лучших времен откладываем нашу игру. Вот вроде начали выполнять DLC, соответственно, Птачека, да? Но все в итоге так повернулось, что мы завершили квест Бланки. Ой, Йоханки. Йоханки, конечно же. И немножко продвинулись по основному квесту. Прикольно. Так сказать, везде по чуть-чуть сделали. Кстати, интересно было посмотреть состояние моей лошади. Точнее, снаряжение лошади, я бы сказал. Все на сотку, кстати. Я помню, что в какой-то момент там некоторые вещи были на нуле. Но это, видимо, когда я сражался на лошади, и, соответственно, снаряжение лошади били. Стреляли в нее стрелами. Били всякими оружиями по ней. Вот. Хотя, наверное, сейчас мы этих разбойников развалим. Отправимся. Отправимся приспокойненько в этот, как его. В Вратае. -1. -2. Лай-ла-лай. Татарские методы. Пам. Еще один -1. Хоп. Еще -1. Давай, давай, давай. Оп. Оп. Ну все, дальше можно уже их хоть обсковыряться. Меч какой? Поборник. Поборник, ну такой средний меч. На самом деле. Снаряжение у них тоже такое себе. Вообще какой-то голый. Голый пистолет с мечами. С двумя мечами. А в штанах он 2 хера держит. С 3 мечами даже. Все еще с топором бегаю. Так сказать, качаем навыки пользования топором. Потому что навыки пользования топором у меня на самом деле такие себе. Да, сюда еще придется с факелом заходить, конечно же. Ага. Тупик. Такой, ты кто такой вообще?
Here. I don't know you.
I'm here at the command of the royal hetman, Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Radzig Kobyla, the king's hetman. I see.
I'm here to place you under arrest.
I gathered as much. And you came alone. Ha! Very daring of you, I must say.
I'll manage. Sometimes even a king can be deposed without an army.
So, I'm a king now, and you want to dethrone me? By the way, who betrayed me?
That hardly matters, does it?
Do you think I won't get a chance to settle up with them? But I hope you don't imagine I'm just going to follow meekly after you like a lamb to the slaughter.
Ого, у него 21, ни хрена себе.
That would be the more sensible choice.
Well, I'm not a sensible man. I'd rather settle this in a knightly fashion.
But I'm not a knight. I prefer to resolve the issue another way.
What would people say? The noble Sir Yezhek gave up without a fight to a low-born lad?
Have you ever watched a man die?
More times than I'd care to. Why?
In the end, they all shit themselves and roll around in a puddle of their own blood. Peasant and nobleman alike.
True. I'll just have to hope that today it won't be the nobleman.
Опять я с факелом, что ли? Ёп. Топор больно бьет, товарищ. Тебе кранты. Да, бьет он нормально. Все, сдался, ёп. Без дуэлянта теперь поиграешь. Ну?
Please, please. I'm sure we can come to some sort of agreement.
You can talk all you like, but not here and not to me. Let's go.
Ура!
Let's go.
А те придурочные разбежались.
Very keen to meet you.
Good work, Henry.
Thank you, Master Feyfar. It wasn't easy, I can tell you.
I'll take some men and have a good look around there.
And what should I do?
You should get some rest and go to Rate. In the meantime, Sir Radzig will have this wretch questioned. Maybe he'll get something useful out of him.
All right. I'll see you in Ratai then.
Блин, я-то думал, я в Ротае окажусь. Подстава. Подстава какая. Ладно, все, поехали в Ротае и заканчиваем. Так, надо бы отремонтироваться. Так, у меня закончились наборы кузнеца. Надо приобрести.
Good health. God be with you.
I'd like...
See now.
Ни хрена себе, как дорого на самом деле. Ладно, у меня еще 17 тысяч. Потом я еще в Прибыславицу заеду, чисто так проездом. Оттуда тоже деньжищ соберу. Нормально все будет. Сначала подумал, что я не в ту сторону еду. А сейчас все верно. Все верно, даже карту сверять не нужно. Вся карта прямо в мозг загружена. Если ехать по дорогам, конечно. Ну и тем более днем. Ночью это вообще кранты. Ночью лучше не ехать. Так, доехали до Ледечко. До Ледечко доехали. Колебал гавкать. Поэтому я лучше приостановлюсь и подожду, пока он это отгавкается. Такого принципа придерживаемся. Нет, все правильно. Я почему-то сначала подумал, а какого хрена я прискакал в Тальмберг, а потом такой, это же не Тальмберг, дебил. Да, как-то так. Так, Птачек все еще в купальнях. Птачек все еще в купальне. Погнали.
What? Greetings. I've got that necklace.
Excellent news! I'm not going to ask you how you did it. Here's a reward for you. Now you can carry on with your next task. I want you to sneak the jewellery into Carolina's trunk along with this letter.
Can't I just hand them to her?
You cannot. Under no circumstances must she find out who sent them. Otherwise the whole secret admirer ploy is fucked. Oh, and by the way, Henry, watch out for the butcher. He keeps a very close eye on his daughter, and if he catches you sniffing around, well, may all the saints preserve you. Once you've delivered the things, wait a day, and then come back and see me. Good luck then.
Чё? Да ёкарный.
You nearly killed me.
Передними ногами в этот тазик окунулся. Так, и теперь мне нужно к Рацику, а Рацик у нас уже в замке. Энергия 84. Где может быть Рацик? На втором этаже, видимо. Что-то не понял.
Greetings. God be with you.
Где он? Вот он гуляет.
There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I'd tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Burner to beat it out of him,
But then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir. Sir, my investigation led me back to Skalitz, and I happened across a criminal there. I just wanted to report to you, sir, that I dealt with that murderer. He attacked me and... well...
That was a brave deed, Henry. I sent a patrol there some time ago.
Так, в какой башне? В какой башне? В тюрьме он, получается, сидит, да? Вот портной. По-моему, вход где-то отсюда, что ли. Не, это погребок. Так, а этот вход, где он может быть? Опа, нашел. Так, стоп. У него еще ключ сначала надо забрать. У Бернарда. Поэтому запомнили. Здесь вход. Гоняем по бурику к Бернарду.
I need the key to Yezhek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
Don't take it that way. He probably wants to talk to me because he reckons he can hoodwink me. But that's where he's wrong.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
Can I ask?
Thank you.
Так, ну, собственно, здесь мы и закончим.